What's going on, Lords Mobile? Swift Sarge here, bringing you a video on gear. Well, I was requested by 30 Pack Jack to bring a video about war gear, and I will get to that as soon as we get done with the foundation, the basics. We have to start somewhere, and I want to focus on the beginning, guys. So many people start this game out and don't understand the importance of their gear, doesn't, and they just don't understand all this. And I can tie so many things into gear, but we're going to try to focus specifically on this one subject. So what we want to look at first is our slots. I am currently Castle 17, and I have my Academy up to 17 and my workshop to 17 as well. When your workshop is to 17, instead of just a one accessory slot, you get two accessory slots. So before you hit 17, Castle 17, you will have a total of 6 slots. You're going to have legs, chest, or actually armor is what they call it here, helm, a main hand, an offhand, and one accessory slot. So let's jump in and let's take a look at the gear I suggest, and actually probably everybody will suggest that you make. You want to create your gear for level 40. Level 35, there's some gear for there. And you can, as soon as you start getting the materials, you need to go ahead and create the gear. So let's go into our workshop. We're going to go into all equipment. And we're also going to click on accessories. We're going to start out with grade white, or some will call it silver. And then I'm going to select in my filters. If you looked at that again, it says select filter at the bottom. And I'm going to go to construction speed. Then we'll take a look at research speed. The two most important sets of gear in this game, every player has them. So looking at the accessories category, there's quite a few accessories that do give this boost or this bonus, but we really only want to make the Sentinel's circlet, and you really want to try to have 2 of those, because once you hit workshop 17, you can have 2 slots and have 2 Sentinel circlets in it. So then we're going to move on to our offhand. Griffin's Talon at level 45. Go ahead and craft it as soon as you start getting the parts for it from hitting the Griffins. Once you've killed enough Griffins and you've got parts, you just start upgrading this as much as possible, guys. Next, we're going to build the Trident. It's at a level 35, and it doesn't really give much of a boost, but it does, you're going to need it. And by the time you get to 55, you can possibly have the Terror Lash, and if you upgrade it, it will get bigger or better than the Trident, but it takes quite a bit to get it. So you have to balance and figure out which one of those you're going to use. Me personally, I do the Trident, and I focus on it. Next, you're going to get is the Griffin Walkers or the Amethyst Boots. The Amethyst Boots you will build immediately before you can build a 40, because you got to wait till 55 to have construction speed. So go ahead and build your Amethyst Boots, upgrade them as you go until you hit level 55. Now, the Griffin Walkers you're going to build as soon as you can as well, and work on upgrading them, because they don't only give construction speed, they also give research speed. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Next, we're going to talk about is our armor, and I would go ahead and craft the Lightning Guard. I would not craft Odysseus armor. I think it's a waste of materials, because you can use those materials for other things. So craft your Lightning Guard. You get that by killing the Noceris monsters, and then also the helm, the Noceris mask. Go ahead and craft it as soon as you can, and then start wearing it once you hit level 40. All right, so we're going to go to research speed. I'm going to jump through those as quickly as possible. Wormbone Cornet, you can't wear it to level 60. When you hit 59 and you're about to hit 60, go ahead and start crafting it. You don't have to be in a hurry to craft that. It takes a long time to get there to 60. In our armor, you're going to have cavalry mail. Um, that is going to be your best piece until 60. Once again, just like with the other piece, wait until you're 59 and start working on it. Griffin walkers, I've already told you, that's the only ones you can wear for research speed. So once you hit 55, you'll drop those on. Now here, we're going to talk about the electric lance. You want that. You can make that from the Naceris drops as well. But there are other weapons in here, and they are purchasable. So you purchase the champion gear, and you can craft this champion gear. Those are very valuable, but you can't wear them to level 60. So maybe when you hit level 60, you can purchase it. I haven't purchased any, so I'm not going there. Now, in your offhand, you're going to have vice grips. They will that's what your focus is on there. And then we're going to look at our accessories, and you will want to make the lunar flutes. I wouldn't make anything else. Waste of materials once again. Make the lunar flutes. Make 2 of them, upgrade them. You'll be wearing them all the way through to the end. And then whenever you hit Castle 25, you'll make your 3rd lunar flute. You'll make your 3rd Centennial circlet. That is your construction and your research gear. Then we're going to go ahead and come in here, and we're going to look at some other gear sets that we can make. I'm not going to go through and show you every piece of gear for this because it's extensive, but I will tell you there's some sets that can help you do well in this game. So first off, if you're going to do any kind of hyper, I would go ahead and make my gear that will help me in my hyper. So a hyper would be one type of resource. Some people do a double resource, but one type of resource is better. And so you can stick with stone, timber, or gold is not a great hyper, but you can have gold in there. And then food is like, I wouldn't ever do a food hyper because you can't have any troops in there whatsoever. So you want to make your gear for stone, timber, or ore so that you can boost your production speed. And then also, there are some good pieces of gear in here to help you with, say, your familiars. Whenever you need to merge your packs and you need to give more XP when upgrading your familiars. This is all when you break into Skirmish 8 and you destroy it, you can do familiars. And so there is some gear for that. Also, monster hunting gear, which is purchasable, and it's very handy when you're attacking monsters and trying to get loot, trying to get your materials to build your gear. This is very, very good stuff. And then one last is the gathering equipment. So they'll give you a boost as well. Now we're going to jump into our war gear, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's no definitive. There is no, this is it, this is what you get, and go. There's so many different opinions on how to build your war gear. I've heard some people say, well, I've got one set of gear for infantry, I've got one set for this troop. So basically they're telling me they've got a set for each troop type, which is okay if you've got the money. It's expensive and it takes a long time to get your gear maxed out that way. Also, some people will tell you to just split it up between all 3. Then you can attack from all directions. Yeah, you give up some percentages whenever you're attacking, but you can still do quite a bit of damage. And then there's the group of people that say, well, you can pick 2. Pick a main and pick an off, a second, whatever you want to call it, and say, this is what I'm going to choose. And then if I'm attacking, I can send another wave of this because I have the gear for it. Now, I'm more along the group of let's have a primary and secondary. I do run with one account is my infantry and ranged. And so I'm going to run through and tell you basically the gear that I have for that. So for my infantry and ranged setup, I run with terror vials, and then I run the switchblade. Then I run the terror lash as my main hand. I run with the, I believe I have the corrupted boots for now because I can't create any of the other gear, but once I can, I will create the dragon's talon and use those. Then I run with the winter's, no, not the winter's parka, that's on another account. I run with the hedonic curious. And the last but not least, as far as my helm goes, I have the indulgent visage. So that would be my gear choices for an infantry range. So like I said, there's no definitive war gear. Nobody has the exact same war gear. There are people on YouTube that will tell you build this, build this, build this. It just depends on your play style, guys. It depends on what you want to do, how you want to attack. The only thing left in gear to talk about really would be jewels. And you can really up your attack by putting in jewels. I will talk about jewels later in another episode and go in depth on different types and what they do. As I said, watch your gear that you're about to craft or about to forge. Make sure that it's giving you the attack that you want or it's giving you the health that you want. You want to have attack before health on everything when it comes to war gear. So really watch and pay attention to what you're building. That way you're not wasting materials. So that'll do it for my first YouTube instructional video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope it is informative and you get something out of it. Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, and you can also hit the notifications so that you can get notified when I make another one. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. I'll catch you on the flip side.